Our last video was just positive coordinates, so they would have just been in this quadrant here, but now we're dealing with all the ones in all four quadrants, 1, 2, 3 and 4. It says you should be able to draw axes with positive and negative numbers, so you should be able to draw these. Remember, y's up and x's across. Those are our axes, that's a plural. Then have axis, which is our axes, and able to identify the midpoint between 2 points. That's going to be further down the page. Write the coordinates of the following points. We have a few to do here, so let's get going. Our point A, 4 and 8. Remember again from our last video, we put a comma in between each one, we put a bracket around it, and we always go across before we go up or down. Our point B, across 5, and in this case now we're going down 3, so it'll be minus 3. Now the 5 isn't the negative, it's just the 3. C is going to be 3 minus 7. D, where did D go? Right here, yeah. Minus 5 across and then 2 down, so minus 5 minus 2. E, minus 2, 5. F, 7 across, 4 up. Notice that's in the positive quadrant, so they're both going to be positive there. G, 3 across and 2 down, so that's going to be 3, which is positive, and then minus 2 because it's going down rather than up. H, so where's H? Minus 3 minus 6. I, minus 6 minus 5. J, minus 5, 2. Okay. Minus 5, 8. I'll not give us those ones. To find the midpoint, find the mean of the 2x coordinates and the 2y coordinates. These means become the coordinate of the midpoint. Find the midpoints of the following lines. So from then D to J. So D is minus 5 minus 2, and J is minus 5, 2. So the midpoint then is going to be minus 5 plus minus 5 divided by 2 is just going to give me minus 5. And I sort of can't see it then. Apologies. Let's talk about that one again. There's our two coordinates. D is minus 5 minus 2. J is minus 5, 2. So the mean of the x coordinates, it's just going to be the same thing. Minus 5, add them, you get minus 10, divide by 2, and you get minus 5. But if they're the same thing, it's just going to be minus 5. Sometimes better to think about halfway in between. Minus 2 and 2, add them together, obviously gives you 0, divide by 2 is going to give you 0, so you end up with that. I tend to like to think about it a wee bit better as halfway in between. If we actually look at D and J, where's the midpoint? Where's halfway in between these numbers? It's going to be here. So if you kind of think about it like that, that might help you work it out. Next one is H and B. So H was up here, minus 3, minus 6. B was 5 minus 3. So there's H and there's B, so it's going to be halfway along here somewhere. Minus 3 plus 5, see, I'm taking the x coordinates here, adding those you get 2, divide by 2, it's going to be 1. Minus 6 plus minus 3 gives me minus 9, dividing that by 2 kind of gives me minus 4.5. Yeah, that is right. Confused there. Next one then, I and D. So I is minus 6 minus 5. D is minus 5 minus 2. These are tricky enough, but we're doing well. Minus 6 and minus 5 give me minus 11. Divide that by 2, I get minus 5.5. Minus 5 and minus 2 give me minus 7, which half of that then is minus 3.5. End up with that. D and F. Minus 5 and minus 2 is D. F is 7, 4. Minus 5 and 7 give me 2. They add together to give 2. Divide by 2, I get 1. Minus 2 and 4. I add those together, I get 2. And divide by 2, then I get 1 as well. So that's D and F. Let's take a wee look at those, see if it does make any sense. There's D there. Do you see F up here? So we go kind of halfway along. Sure enough, the point 1, 1 is actually my midpoint there, so it is working. Alright, final one then is H and E. So H is minus 3, minus 6. And E is minus 2, 5. And my midpoint's here. I'm a wee bit off kilter here, but hopefully it'll work okay. Minus 3 and minus 2 give me minus 5. Divide by 2, I get minus 2.5. Also, it's halfway in between, minus 2 and minus 3. That works. And then minus 6 and 5, I add those together, I get minus 1. So divide that by 2, I get minus 0.5. And we end up then with those points there. Those are quite tough. Hopefully they make sense. Again, you can kind of use your common sense and just work out halfway in between. That'll be fine anytime. Say, for example, the H and C. I can see the midpoint's going to be round about there if you look at it. But either method will work. Okay, let's plot some points. And then it says to make the shape and name the shape. So we might need to rule some straight lines here as well. But that's fine. So plot the points 0 across and 2 up. Minus 3, 0. 0 across, minus 2. 4, 0. To 0, 2. Let's join them up. Hopefully I've got this right. Beautiful. So what shapes? It looks a bit like a rhombus, but those sides aren't the same length. If you kind of turn sideways, which you can see then, that's actually going to be a kite. Hope you can see that okay. Let's move on to our second one. 5, 0. Minus 2, 0. 2 across and 3 up. And 5 across and 0 up. It's a tough one. That one is a triangle. Again, it's not equilateral. It's not isosceles or anything like that, so we can just go scaling triangle if you want, but that's really hard. Finally then, minus 2, 2, 3, 2, 1, minus 2, 1 across, minus 2, minus 4, minus 2, and then back to there. Again, go nice and heavily here. Hopefully we're good. If you can see. And we end up there with that. And that is of course a parallelogram. So that's us for that.